help you? Isaiah 41:10.
I always forget I have that clock behind me. So they're running with this whole Sharilyn thing. So let me explain to everybody the whole thing about Sharilyn so everyone can understand. Sharilyn was like they always do, came out of nowhere. And oh, I'm such a supporter. Oh, I'm such a fan. Blah, 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 blah. So we end up becoming friends. And as you guys all know, she ends up becoming a moderator to my YouTube channel. So she sets up this Gmail account, but she would never give me the password to get into the Gmail account. She every time I asked her, "Oh, I don't have it. Oh, I don't remember it. I have it written down. I'm going to have to go look for it. I can't do it right now." So I never had access to that email. So Stormy starts emailing Sherilyn. And Sherilyn says, "Oh my God, you have to reach out to this Stormy guy." Blah, 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 blah. And so I trust Sherilyn, so I reach out to Stormy, who supposedly is connected to MS-13. The minute I connect with Stormy, Gabe Hoffman and Thomas Schoenberger try to get my channel down by saying that I'm working with someone who is MS-13 and they're making threats and try Smokey. Thank you. Did I call him Stormy? I couldn't remember his name. Thank you, Cognitive. Smokey. And so they tried to get my station down because I associated with Smokey, but Sherilyn was the one who told me, "Oh, you got to connect with." I didn't have a clue who he was. I didn't have a clue who he was. But as soon as I connected with him, they don't want Sherilyn investigated. The reason why they're running with Sherilyn now is because if they look at Sherilyn, they're going to connect it to that Famalam group. The same Famalam group that Isaac Cappy was murdered over. The same Famalam group my stepmother, Joanne Shurter, is on. All of these child traffickers seem to be on that Famalam group. So that's why they don't want her investigated. That's the reason why there's this big push to actually protect her now. So this woman, Sherilyn, who supposedly is on disability, makes the same $1,000 a month I do, is on food stamps, out of the blue, sends me a brand new laptop. How many of you could afford to just send some stranger a brand new laptop? I didn't want to use it, not because I mistrusted Sherilyn, but because I didn't want to have it in the house. They stole my computer bag when they came in and stole that Dell laptop that they bragged about online, which Shelby County Iowa Sheriff is well aware of. I made a police report about it. So I didn't want to use it because I thought I can't just leave it in the house. They'll have access to it. She bought me that laptop and sent it to me because she wanted me to use it for my YouTube lives. It was a real push to use that laptop for my YouTube lives. So what spyware is on that computer? You know? And so I said, no, I'm not going to even fool with it until I get a bag. And it was taking me a while to get money for a bag. And I was making her a bag. And all of a sudden, at the same time, she was telling me that she had these 2 THC vapes that she wanted to give me, which she continuously called felonies. She wanted me to finish that bag that I was making her right off the bat. Right off the bat. And she ended up, out of the blue, buying me a bag for the laptop because she wanted me to use that laptop for my YouTube live. Now, it's funny because after I told Sherilyn to go fuck herself and all of that, I started talking to Fiona Barnett. And Fiona, I was talking to Fiona, but I mentioned it to Fiona because I just never really mentioned it. And Fiona told me, dude, don't ever use that computer. That's the same thing they did to me. I said, what? She said, yeah, they out of the blue, they sent me a laptop. I never used it because I didn't want to. Obviously, that's cognitive. They have backdoor access. Had I used that laptop for my lives, they would have gotten access to my blog or my lives, and I wouldn't have access to this channel anymore. And so there was all kinds of shit that was going on with Sherilyn. But the reason why they don't want is because if they investigate her, they're going to connect her with that Famalam program. The same Famalam program Gabe Hoffman's on. The same Famalam thing that Thomas Schoenberger is on. If you go click on the link, now Thomas Schoenberger and Johnny Dubb are now oppositional to each other. All these years that Thomas worked with this Johnny Dubb dude that he says his name is Brian Ward. I don't believe that at all. I think it's Lucian Greaves. They've worked with each other for years. They tag teamed me for a year with that Chris McGimpsey Jones Australian dude that they attacked me all day, every day. So he's working in league with this dude for years, but doesn't know who he is. Suddenly now things are being investigated, and now suddenly they're opposition to each other. Really? It's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. And so I don't believe any of that. I post all this stuff, and I find it interesting that Thomas sent me the same email that Johnny Dubb forwarded me of Thomas's, because he wrote Sharilyn. He didn't have, and the whole thing about it is that the address was wrong. It's mod, M-O-D, not mid, M-I-D. So I think it was just bullshit. I think it was bullshit. But I think if they investigate Sherilyn, who goes to Missouri and buys $1,000 the pot all the time, that's illegal all in of itself. She's on disability, on food stamps. How the fuck did she afford to buy me a brand new fucking laptop that I've never used and will never use? Will never use that laptop. Ever. Because I don't trust it. And she wanted me to finish that bag for her because she knew she was going to give me those fucking THC vapes. They were going to arrest me and murder me in jail. And why do I think that? Because they send me shit all the time saying they're going to either have me murdered in jail or lobotomized. And as far as Thomas Schoenberger taking out a fucking protection order on me, dude, you have to come here to do it. It has to go through Shelby County. You can't just do it anywhere. It has to come through here. And let me assure you, Neil Gross and his entire fucking department there's no plausible deniability. All the shit that you were doing to me for a year, all that tag team bullshit you were doing, they have all those emails. Every fucking one of them. And I posted them on my blog, showing them that I sent them to the fucking cops. You can't harass me like you have for a year and then suddenly claim you're going to take out a protection order on me. That's the same thing as my stepmother taking out a protection order on me and then sending cease and desist letters to every single person I got involved with who was going to help me with my to do a book signing, including cupcake ladies. 2 women who were just making cupcakes for my book thing. Gerald Fredrickson, her cousin, her lawyer, sent them. Is that a woman who's afraid of me? Does that sound? She got a protection order out on me, but that's because she wanted to stop my book and close down my blog. Just the same fucking thing that Thomas Schoenberger and Gabe Hoffman are looking to do. And why? Because it's all child protect. It's their child trafficking operation that they're trying to protect. Obviously, I got under Daniel Dowd's skin because he did a 4-hour video about me. He mentioned me in the YouTube. I do have to say, I did click on it because he said, oh, I should watch it. And I thought, oh, he's going to be talking about Thomas. I took my finger and spun it because all I wanted to see is if the background of my fucking house on fire was behind, if he showed that. He didn't. he was mad about me releasing all of those voicemails. And he was screaming. He was yelling on it. So obviously he was upset. And I only watched a little bit of it, but it was only fractions because I went faster and faster, and I just took that bar and scanned it because I didn't care. But even when he was trying to be funny, it was sardonic. You know, it was so biting. They're not happy. So let me tell you who I think is investigating this. People are wondering why Marjorie Taylor Greene has changed so drastically. I can show that I started reaching out to her on September 3rd. And it might just be a coincidence. It might. But after I reached out to her and Thomas Matthey, my blog exploded with views. I think that they're investigating this child trafficking. I think Marjorie Taylor Greene, if Marjorie Taylor Greene could investigate this and bust it open, it would give her, first of all, it would give her validity. And it would give her a credibility she doesn't have now. And I don't know. I used to despise Marjorie Taylor Greene, but now that she's kind of changed her tune, people don't trust what she's saying. But what I think is happening is that she is well aware of this child trafficking thing. So when they asked her about Pizzagate, and now she says, well, a lot of people were duped by Pizzagate. And she said it, they thought that she was just poo-pooing it. She was dismissing it. I don't think that's it at all. I think she said what she said because she knows it's a psyop. Now she knows it's a psyop. I bet they're investigating everything. I bet they're investigating everything. This could, it remains to be seen whether or not Marjorie Taylor Greene is doing what she's doing because she's regained her humanity or she's just an opportunist. But either way, I have a feeling that this is all being investigated. That's what I think. Because I realized that the world was a small place. When I emailed all of the Iranian officials, in 2006, 2007, and helped Mahmoud Ahmadinejad, the president of Iran, who was being inundated with their directed energy weapons. He couldn't sleep, he couldn't eat, he was so weak that they were having to carry him. And he had this buzzing in his head. He was complaining about this electric buzzing that was going on in his head that he couldn't get rid of. So, because they were doing the same thing to me, I've said this over and over and over, I went online and looked for every single Iranian official I could find. Every email for every Iranian official I could find, and sent them all a mass email telling them what I thought was causing the thing with Ahmadinejad, what it was that they were looking for, that it was boots on the ground, that it was close to him, that it was someone with that weapon. 2 weeks later, Iran said that they had found and executed a spy, and he was fine. He was president of Iran until 2013. I started thinking about it this morning and thought, the global implications of that had to have been vast. Because now Iran has their directed energy weapon. They caught the dude, they executed him, and what? They gave the weapon back? The thing around here, where I live, most of these people actually peaked in high school. Their lives will never get any better than what they were in high school. They peaked in high school. They don't have the first fucking clue about anything, and they're ignorant. If you bring up the Erling, Iowa gas station, they'll say, well, I don't know why the official report is completely different than the KETV news report. All I know is that I don't believe David Shurter. Okay. So you want to be ignorant. Because what I explain makes sense. I was involved with it. Obviously, I was interviewed on KETV as well. So, but That's what I end up having to deal with out here. I prayed, I ended up journeying and asked God, because these taxes, I'm suffering along with everyone else. And going out and getting a job and stuff like that, they're triggering the shit out of my post traumatic. They just came in and stole my glasses. Did they want my glasses? No. What they did was they stole something I would notice so I would know that they were in my house. That's the whole key to this. They want me to know that they can get in my house whenever they want, which means they could hurt me, they can hurt my dogs, they can burn my fucking house down, they can do whatever the fuck they want to me whenever they want. That's what that whole thing was. They break in all the time and do stupid shit. Overwater a plant. I don't water all my plants for the whole summer. They're all dry. But the succulent that I have is waterlogged. So what? My dogs are watering the succulent? Because it was waterlogged. Someone was watering it. How did it get water to it? Maybe it was divine intervention. This is the shit that they do. And it's all to protect their child trafficking operation. And now they're going through all this. They are terrified that Sharilyn, who lives in Lincoln, is going to get investigated. And I bet she is. And I bet they're going to find out that she's completely connected. No, they don't water my plants. They water one plant. And they water it to kill it. So then when I go see that the plant is dying, I stick my finger in it and it's full of water. None of the other plants. It's the stupid shit they do. All my peanut butter is disappearing. They're accusing me of putting peanut butter on my dick and letting my dogs eat it. Is that what the fuck they're doing? Because this Darvo bullshit, that's exactly what Gabe Hoffman is doing. They do all this nasty shit and then try and put off on me that I'm doing it. That's not the case at all. That's not the case at all. And Gabe Hoffman is behind that deranged David Shurter account. That if you go to the link, you can see his shit, you know? And it's all to protect their child, but it's not me you have to worry about anymore. Because there are people who are on your tail now because they can get some real credibility by busting your asses out. So I suggest you go do your shit to Marjorie Taylor Greene or Thomas Matthey, you know? See if it works on them as well as it worked on me, because it didn't work on me at all. It just ends up pissing me off, you know? That's what it is. It's crazy making. The shit that they're doing to me is what terrified Isaac Cappy, what terrified Tracy Twyman. What they do, the shit that they do ends up scaring people. But it doesn't scare me, it just pisses me off. Because I know who's behind it. The fucking illegal Mexican next door and Oompa Loompa meth head in the apartments. Could it be the people behind me? Well, the dude who chased me around with the Let's Summon Demons t-shirt, the bitch who stared through my fence to get a hold of me, or to watch me, and the prison dude who didn't seem to own a shirt or shoes. So my experiences with that house haven't been all that great either, you know? So the whole thing about it is, I prayed and asked God, because I've been losing sleep and been incredibly stressed about these taxes, not being able to feed myself, not having any money. And looking, because there are people in town who are dancing around who are just excited as fuck that I owe $3,000, and if I don't pay $3,000 by next year, I lose my house and become homeless. They're fucking giddy about it. But we're in judgment. So all that matters. And what I was told is all the stress and heartache and anguish that I'm feeling like I've been abandoned, that I've done all this work and it's gotten me nowhere, no one cares, verbally, but other than that, And what I was told is that it all is being channeled into the dark. I'm having to experience it so I can understand it so it can be returned to them, you know? And so I just, I, it's funny about that three-eye atlas thing. That chemical, they were calling it like a force field thing, that it was like half the size of our sun that surrounded that three-eye atlas. When it was on the other side of the sun, now it doesn't have that anymore. It doesn't even have a tail. It's just a big blue orb. And what do you think happened when it got close to the sun on the other side? The sun absorbed all those chemicals. What happened when it was on the other side of the sun? The sun had 4 fucking massive explosions. We don't even know how bad, but we could tell they were massive because it created halos over that. And now the sunspots that are starting to face Earth are growing exponentially each day. And so I don't think it's an alien ship. I think that whoever is out there, if that is an alien thing, I think it could be here to exterminate us. And why not? You know, some of the shit that's happening to the sun, all of that plasma is magnetic. It gets a. Do you think that the huge fucking magnet that China built might have some sort of effect on all the magnet shit? Just like CERN, you know? They're blaming CERN for the Mandela effect. If there are aliens from outer space, we are a primitive fucking species that have technological advances that are way beyond us, and we're dangerous. In order to save the whole fucking galaxy, I think they would exterminate us. But the sun is getting ready to explode. We just got hit with the next flare yesterday. And we're getting coronal mass injections on a constant basis through those coronas. So I think this is over. I think we're in judgment. And I think the sun is about ready to put us back into the dark ages because it's going to fry our technology. We get hit with the Carrington event, it could fry our power grids, which are already old, and all of our technology. That's what happens with the Carrington event. So, and Daniel Dowd, I just wanted to say one last thing. I'm not your fucking daddy, dickhead. I'm your fucking master. The minute you take your last breath, you're going to find out how fucking true that is. I know your little ego can't deal with it, but you're delusional, dude. I can't believe that you have a YouTube channel out there calling yourself the Lord of Darkness. You're what, in your 30s, almost your 40s, and you live in your mom's basement with your kid. But you're the Lord of Darkness. Let alone you have a fucking mugshot for fucking someone under the age of 4. You know? And you're the Lord of Darkness. Really? You know? I didn't see anything cognitive about the book. But they don't want Sharilyn investigated because it'll lead him right back to that family lamb. It'll lead him to all of them. That's the reason why they're fighting so hard to protect Sharilyn now. Making her out to be a victim. She tried to fuck me over to get my YouTube channel down. She tried to set me up to put me in prison. But I'm supposed to be all nicey nice. I warned her just like I warn everybody. Everyone who's dealt with me. I've told them. I started off over and over and over. If you are in my life to fuck me, you aren't going to like the end result. I warn everybody of that. Everyone. She was warned. She wanted to play. Now I'm playing. They only want to play when they can hide in the fucking dark and do their nasty shit and nobody knows. They don't want to actually be out in the open. But Gabe Hoffman, you're going to get connected to Sharilyn. Your child trafficking bullshit is going to get investigated. I have a feeling it already is. That's the reason why you guys are acting like freaks. Because it's being investigated. But Sharilyn tried to get my channel down by connecting me with Smokey. And then all of a sudden, I was being called out for being involved with someone who was MS. And I didn't really even know what MS-13 was at the time. You know? Just like I was a felon who got arrested for a sawed-off shotgun. You know? That was bullshit too. And so, and I can't control the people that come on here. I don't have control. I'm not omnipresent. I'm certainly not omniscient. And I'm not responsible for fucking strangers' behavior. I'm not calling anybody for violence. If you do violence, you do fucked up shit, you're going to end up in the fucking dark and you ain't going to like it. That's how it works. And there's no try or don't try. There's either do or don't. So all the people that are dancing around in fucking town, salivating over the fact that I'm going to lose my house, glorified that I'm going through hell, go ahead. You ain't going to like the end result. You ain't going to like the end result. And all of you who sit there, who know me, but allow people to talk shit about me, you're a fucking fence setter. You want to know what Jesus Christ said about fence setters? They get vomited out like with the rest. You'll either stand for God and what's right, or you're going to get claimed. That's how it works. That's how it's going to work. And I'm trying to bust open a child trafficking operation. Am I a sweet, gentle, loving? No, sometimes I'm definitely not. I can be that way, but sometimes I can be a real fucking asshole. The difference between me and everybody else is I haven't spent an entire lifetime running away and denying my shadow. I had to embrace my shadow. Those who run from their shadow and deny their shadow give their shadow strength. And how the fuck can you actually do anything with something you don't understand? You running away from your shadow, then you don't understand your shadow. How are you ever going to put it in check? Denying that it exists. I don't deny that my shadow exists. My shadow's in the dark. And like I said, fucking Daniel, I ain't your goddamn daddy. I'm your master. You just don't realize it yet. But you will. You will. You all will. Every fucking one of you child killers will. And you will rue the day, to quote Donald Trump. You will be so sorry. But with that said, I'm not going to apologize for calling out Sharilyn. She's the easiest way to connect it to this fucking Famalam group. She's involved. They're involved. She got involved with me for them. She needs to be fucking investigated because she's part of them. Willingly. She's not a victim. She chose. She wanted to play. Now I'm playing. And now, because I'm playing and she doesn't have the upper hand in the fucking shadows, now she wants to yell victim. And Gabe Hoffman wants to yell victim. And Thomas Schoenberger wants to yell victim. Well, how about the fucking kids they're fucking trafficking? Because those are the real victims. If you gave a fucking, even a modicum of care like you do about this group. And these words are not meant for everybody. Some of you know that these words are not meant for you because it doesn't apply to you. But there are some of you that it definitely does. And I would assume each one of you would know the difference. If it's not true about you, then why take it fucking personally? It's like me. They call me a pedophile. Like I give a fuck. I'm not a pedophile. What, when they start calling me a purple spotted unicorn, am I supposed to go hide under my covers at that too? I'm not a fucking pedophile. I don't give a shit. A bunch of fucking child traffickers calling me a pedophile. That's rich. They project all of their bullshit. But I'm not willing to accept it. I just hand it right back. So with that said, I'm almost done. I'm going to pray. Heaven, I come to you I apologize for being so grumpy in this live, but I am appreciative that you came to me this morning and explained to me why I'm having to go through what I'm having to go through. The financial shit I go through, that I'm going through, you know, it's stressful. But I'm not in the boat alone. But it's all meant for judgment. There are people who are just salivating and just overjoyed that I'm going through the pain and suffering that I'm going through. I hope they appreciate it. Because when it gets returned to them, hopefully their shit was worth it. That's all I can say. You sent your son, Jesus Christ, who not only came to teach us about the word, but warned us what was coming. And nothing has changed. The game remains the same. Whether you accept it, whether you admit it, whether you like it, the game remains the same. And I, for one, who serves heaven, all glory goes to God, and I appreciate the fact that the game doesn't change. And I say these things with all glory going to God and to our brother, your son, Jesus Christ. Amen. So that's it, you know? Sharilyn played with me and tried to take me down. And I warned her the whole time. If she was trying to play with me and trying to manipulate me and trying to fuck me, and the text that we had afterwards, I've told her, nothing's changed, Sharilyn. Everything I told you remains the same. I bet your life isn't going very well right now. Don't think it's going to get any better. And that goes for all of you. Gabe, Mike Lucchino, Gabe Hoffman, Thomas Schoenberger, Lucian Greaves, Kara, a.k.a. Skills, a.k.a. Emily Thorne, a.k.a. Siren, Sewertown, Corey Daniel, Alicia Ray, Geo Fardsworth, Daniel Dowd, Tara Joyce, Jesse Davis, Craig Sawyer, Ron Patton, Clyde Lewis, who helps fucking Ron Patton in Portland, Oregon. All involved. You ain't gonna like the fucking dark, but I sure am gonna enjoy the fact that you're in the fucking dark.